Hey, this is LaserDude99 here, and I just want to talk to you about. This is a video response to Blowhimselfupdude. Yeah, I saw your video. Tim Burton is a bad director. Don't mind the sounds in the background. Now, okay, let me just say this. I think Tim Burton is a great director. Okay, I just want to say that. Okay, I think he's a really good director. In fact, he's my older brother's favorite director of all time. Now, I can see where you can think he's a bad director. If you look at a lot of his movies, a lot of them basically look the same. Like there's still this little gothic look with dead trees everywhere, or giant buildings that look like they're part of a film noir movie or something like that. But okay, you gotta take a deeper look at his movies. Even though some of them are similar, it doesn't mean they're the same. I mean, let's take two of his movies, Ed Wood and Sleepy Hollow. Um, not really the same there. Ed Wood is a good movie. It's about like a guy who's a bad director, and don't say yeah he made a movie about himself or something like that. Okay, like he made Ed Wood. That was a really good movie. It was about a guy who it was about the art of filmmaking. A guy who just loved making movies, even though he was horrible at it. He just loved making movies, and and yeah. And that was a good movie. That was a good movie there. And let's say take a look at Sleepy Hollow. That was a good dark gothic film with the blood and the stuff, and a bunch of different storylines, and the Ichabod Crane, Johnny Depp playing Ichabod Crane, played a good character of a guy who's not really I'll save the day. He's a bit of a coward, and he faints at the sight of blood, and that was a good movie. That was a good movie. Sleepy Hollow was a good movie. What else? What else? And I'm not stalling here because I don't know what to say. It's just I didn't really think this through. I just wanted to say my opinion on this. Now, what else? Okay, we got, okay, for bad movies, I really didn't like what happened in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I honestly must say I did not enjoy Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It was thumbs down. But hey, okay, I want to talk to you about Batman. Now, I know where you're coming from, and I see lots of good points. And personally, I think that the Batman, The Dark Knight and Christian Bale Batman is the best one ever and better than Tim Burton's Batman and all that. But still, it's I know where you're coming from, where Batman kills in this, and the way he goes with Vicky Vale. Okay, those two things don't really measure up Batman, but it's still a good movie. If it's not entirely true to the character, well, that may be the case. But hey, I mean, Spider-Man didn't have actual web coming out of his hands. Okay, that's a bad example. But hey, like, they took a movie and it did something good with it. The story wasn't dumb. Okay, the story wasn't dumb. Okay, when I think of bad movies, there are a few major things that I look at. Number one, is the story dumb? If it's stupid, if it's a bad story, then it's a bad movie. Number two, is the acting good? If there's bad acting, where the people performances are wooden, and you don't care about the people, then yeah, that's a bad movie. But if, let's say, also, okay, yeah, bad story, bad, crap. Sorry, my battery went dead. But okay, okay, bad story, bad acting, and then the next is bad, like, if the place they're in doesn't really look good or isn't believable. Gotham City was like a whole other world to itself in this movie. And true, that makes it like it doesn't really exist in the real world sort of feel, but it gives it that it exists in a comic book type world. Even if Batman did kill. Now, we have seen, though, if you take that Batman doesn't kill, you say that's not part of the comics. Well, I guess I could argue that if you look far back enough in the comics, well, Batman did kill. He used to carry around a gun, for crying out loud. And he used to, yeah. But, and also, well, Batman not killing the Joker, that's not entirely true. Like, Batman has killed the Joker in comics. Like, just take a look at the Nail. The Nail is when, like, in a comic where he snaps Joker's neck on live television. Batman's been this close to killing the Joker so many times. Let's say, and okay, take the scene from Batman Begins where when Bruce Wayne's going up to Joe Chill and he's gonna shoot him. Well, take that mindset, and if Joker really did kill Batman's parents, that mindset goes in there, and he wants to kill him. It's true, he didn't learn all the lessons he did, and you don't really get that explained. But still, it's a good movie, okay? So, let's take a look at Batman. The story wasn't dumb. The Joker had a good plot, and Batman was done well, okay? Number 2, the acting wasn't bad. It wasn't like, oh no, what are we gonna do now? Or even, was chill, Batman. No, there wasn't any of that. So, so far, that's 2 for 2. And of course, Tim Burton's art direction and set design is totally good. You've said that yourself, that he should be a set designer. Now, let's go beyond Batman now. Let's take a look at some other movies, like Big Fish. Big Fish, I think, is an underrated movie. Sure, it's nothing spectacular, but it's still a good movie. It's a good watch about, like, a guy who, it's exactly right there. In his hometown, he was the biggest fish in the pool, but then you get out into the open and he was just a big fish in a small pool, sort of thing. That is a good movie. It wasn't great, but it was still good. And he has produced lots of stuff. I don't know exactly if he made or just produced the Nightmare Before Christmas, but it says Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. So that implies that he had a big part in it. Nightmare Before Christmas is a great film. I love it. I actually just saw it like a few months ago for the first time. I didn't watch it before because I don't like Halloween, but I became a fan of Tim Burton. Okay, but let me just point this out. You just said Tim Burton's a bad director. It's a fact. Well, this is the way I see it. Bad directors, once they've made a few bad movies, they're usually not given another chance. Like, you do this wrong, you do this wrong, you did that wrong, okay, you're done. Nobody's gonna hire you again. With maybe the exception of M. Night Shyamalan, who he's still only making movies because he made such amazing ones before he had his ice spell. But we're not talking about M. Night. We're talking about Tim Burton. Now, if he was a really bad director, people would say, okay, you're done. You made good movies back then, but we're not giving you any movies to do now. Well, obviously that's not the case. He's making Alice in Wonderland. Now, I know what you're saying. You said that he doesn't do anything different. Like, all of his movies look the same. Basically are the same. He works in his comfort zone. Sure, he could branch out and do other stuff, but maybe he doesn't think he'd be good at it. I don't know. It's his stuff. He just wants to work on where he does it best. Like, let's look at some other of his movies. Okay, I mentioned that. Edward Scissorhands. Edward Scissorhands is a great film. And as you said before, it's all thanks to Johnny Depp. Well, it's not all thanks to Johnny Depp. Tim Burton uses him because I don't know why he uses him all the time, just because he's a good actor. Maybe. But, okay. I just want to say, but take a look at some of his other movies, like Sleep, no, not Sleepy Hollow, I meant, Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street. That was a good movie. My parents hated it. Note to self, do not watch a movie with parents of a guy slitting people's throat and blood squirting everywhere. Bad idea. But not Sleepy Hollow, Sweeney Todd was still a good movie and a great musical. If you're a bad director, you don't get many second chances. It just doesn't come that often in Hollywood. Tim Burton is not a bad director. Sure, he's made bad films like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but he's made some great films too.